Where am I? Oh, here I am. Hello. How is everybody? I hope everybody is doing well tonight. This magically popped in. It's our magical unicorn moment. Hello. I know that there's a Kendra's Card Challenge stream, so if you're catching this on the replay, hello to you. Also, hello to my folks who are here live. That I see Elizabeth, I see Delise. I'm sure there are other folks, but happy Sunday. I hope everybody is doing well. In the upper Midwest, we've been having pretty great weather all week, I gotta say. So I hear it's supposed to be a little stormy in the upcoming week, but I don't know. We've had sort of this late summer, yeah, wow. It's Sunday, what can I say? Late spring, early summer kind of weather where it's been sort of highs in the 70s and 80s, so it's been pretty sweet. Oh, hello, Heather. Welcome, welcome. How are you? Um, I don't have a ton to talk about. It's gonna be kind of a heavy scheduled video week because tomorrow is also inspired, and then I have a couple other videos dropping throughout the week. And actually, there's one that went live like an hour ago. Let me pop down to my desk. So the video that just went live is on how to actually make this card, if that's a thing that is of interest to you. So this is an Infinity Fold, which is definitely not a new thing. But one of my friends said that she hadn't made one in years, so they're pretty fun. You can make them not 6x6 if you so choose for postage reasons, but anyway, that exists, and did get some happy mail. Been some swaps that I actually mailed on time, but I think these are maybe swap cards, maybe not. We will see. The first one certainly is. It comes from my friend Danny, and her happy mail swap, which this month, since it's coming from her, I'm guessing that this is probably a Gingham themed card because I believe that was the swap that we were doing with each other. But we shall see. It comes with one of these very fancy that I didn't forget to use all the time pieces of copy paper to protect the front, which is lovely. I believe this is a riff on a Mojo Monday sketch, or at least reminds me of one a lot. There was one I saw that we did a swap on. Some really lovely coloring of a cat with a very oversized Copic marker. I love the how the gingham and the embossing work together. Look at that. How cool is that? That is not something I thought of. And we can just do a little zoom in on how cute the coloring is. Um, Shout out to my friend Meg, who is starting a coloring class. So if you are interested in learning how to Copic color, put a throw a comment. I'll see if I can remember to throw a comment, but if I don't, throw a comment in the video once this is a video, and I can dig up the link for you. Anyway, it's maybe available on the internet too. Just Google coloring with Meg. Anyway, I'm excited for her. But that's not what this is about. But Danny's coloring is really nice. Look at how easily you can create like a scene just by doing sort of some sky and some ground. I really like that as a technique. I don't do it enough, but it's a good way to sort of have your whatever you're coloring like not float in space because sometimes that can be a little strange. Oh yeah, I thought it was nice. Let's see what we say. Danny does love a good gingham. And look at this. We have a black and white image, which kind of mirrors the front image on the front. That's a really nice technique as well. Anyway, very cute. Created by Danny. I don't know what she always makes fantastic cards. So we have that. We have who is this from? This is a card from CC, who's in Lynn's group, I believe. So we will see what this one is. I don't think I'm officially in any swap with her, but oh my goodness, how pretty. Look at that. So tropical. I don't know what I'm getting a card for, but I'm very happy. Yeah, no, I thought it was good too. I love, I love cats, which is no surprise to anybody, but I believe that the image I don't know. This looks like it's probably Newton's Nook to me, but don't hold me to that. Um, it's a very cute image. This one is really cool with all the die cuts. CC always does some really cool layered die cuts. I want to say this or something very similar was in. There was a Gina K ThermoWeb kit that went out a while ago. This other stuff is not related to that, so it may not be that, but I believe I have a hibiscus dye that kind of looks like that. Have I used it? Of course not. Um, really nice how the sort of pink in the card base and the hibiscus is the same pink. Not that I'm a super matchy matchy person, but I do like that. It looks like we have there are I think these are die cuts. So this looks very much like embossing on the points here. But let's see if it says what this is for. Oh, it's an ATC. So this is Hello Crafty Friend. I hope you like the card and the birth butterfly ATC. Okay, so this is very interesting. Neat take on a butterfly. Actually, I'm terrible about taking pictures of ATCs. Um, so, I didn't take any pictures. I sent out two this weekend and took no pictures of any of them. But this is a really neat take on it, I think, where you're sort of stamping a really zoomed in butterfly. You make my heart soar. Very cute sentiment. And then Danny's Dreams, Happy Mail, Butterflies. This is a neat approach. I've been using a stamp and then writing it in. I got some ATC stamps from KS Crafts that were like $1. So that's why. But I had wanted an ATC stamp. But this is another approach. You can make a template and just print them out too, which is nice. I should probably do that more often because I am terrible at writing. If you've gotten a card from me, you'll know that I have awful doctor handwriting. If you'd like a card from me, just let me know. And then we have one from Mary Fisher. And I don't recognize the name, which might mean it's probably a swap card, but it could also be a craft roulette person. It's funny. Oh, what a pretty card. It looks better pressed, but I think it's stamped. It doesn't look impressed. But I like the stamping on this. I don't know if it's reading on screen, but it's a pearlized cardstock, which is really quite lovely. Yeah, it is a great ATC. I agree. Um, I like the ATCs quite a bit. Oh, yeah, I don't know. I feel like, well, there are a few folks. Sorry about the camera; it should be coming back momentarily. There we go. Animal flip and be in the correct orientation. Hello, isn't that nice again? I don't know. There we go. Our camera's working again. I don't know. This camera, I've been using it a lot this weekend, and I think it just kind of overheats after some amount of time. But I've been doing a lot of filming. Anywho, so yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth. I always think like there are people in what was I saying? Oh, there are people in our friend group who have like like blah, 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 yeah, words today have like very good calligraphy level lettering skills. Anyway, this is a beautiful card. I like the very cute. Someone thanked me for watching their videos, and I like this. I really like the idea of stamping on pearlized cardstock. I never thought to do that, but it adds a lot of shine without being a complicated card. Because, like, this would be a really good card to mail to almost anybody, and very easy to mass produce, right? Because this is all a stamp, so you're not necessarily having to go and, color something 100 times. Speaking of mass production, I thought because I've done polls and people didn't want to do it, so today we don't have a poll. I thought in preparation for June happening soon, we would do some masculine cards because I had two sitting on my desk. These are remnants from my in-person crop, we have sort of a tackle box one and a bear one, but we could do the bear first. I do somewhere have instructions, but I didn't print them out, so we're just gonna kind of noodle through. Well, I thought it would be fun to do a few things here. Uh, I was told on multiple occasions this bear card was pretty straightforward, and it is. We just need to figure out what sort of sentiment we want. Really lovely embossed tree panel. I kind of want to go in with a little bit of lunar paste or something. This would be good to actually spray. Maybe I'll resist it. I don't know. I don't need it to be crazy. But essentially we have this, and then we can sort of ground the bear here, and then we have a lot of room to write. But we do need a sentiment of some sort. So this is pretty straightforward. I believe this is Elizabeth, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is one of the Spellbinders bears from their winter set. It looks very similar to one used on live. Obviously, we can make this more sort of this might be kind of folly. I feel like if I remember where I put it, somewhere on my desk, I have some really good Father's Day sentiments, so maybe we will use those. Here it is. So this is what these actually look like. And I'm thinking we could utilize this tree, which I haven't touched yet. And I like You're the Best There Is. So let's play with those. These came from there's a video up on these, but these came from the May Paper Pumpkin. So I think I'll play with those. I think we could also do Happy Father's Day, but I only have one father and I already have four Father's Day cards. So I think we're gonna do the You're the Best one. So to answer Lynn's question, I started in total there were 49 kits. That's not true. There were 49 kits and two make and takes. So that's 51, not 49. But most of them I did there. I have about 10 or 12 kits left that I didn't finish while I was there. And I had gotten some feedback, suggestion. I don't know. I don't know. I will defer to the people present to say I got a strong, helpful suggestion from a lady of a certain age to save certain things and do other ones. So I don't know. We'll call it a suggestion. Where did I put my stamp wheel? You wouldn't think it would be possible to like lose a stamp wheel, would you? And not to be totally self-promoting or anything, but there is a live on Thursday on my channel where we're going to talk some more about the stamp wheel. But the spoiler on that live is yes, I'm still using it. I use it way more than I think I would. Um, just because, like, with the Misty, even though I would like to get good at stamping with a block, but I am not good at stamping with a block. So this is great for that. So I'm just going to eyeball this. Because I feel like because this is sort of a woodland card, having it be completely perfect is unnecessary. Um, but some of these, and this was a tip I got recently. It's more relevant to sentiments, but it also works for something like this. If you're peeling a new stamp off, you can kind of warp the stamp. So if you just sort of like let it sit on your table or whatever for a minute, the stamp will kind of go back to the shape that it wants. So I kind of don't need all these trees. So I'm thinking we can sort of offset these trees. But it was a really cool tip. And then I want the best there is, which I've dyed blue because I haven't cleaned it yet. But that's fine. And I think we can get some additional fun out of the stamp wheel because I want these to be different colors. I'm going to sort of line this up, maybe. Yeah. So I'm going to pick both of these up. Well, let me move. Oh, the camera's being stupid again. Wow, it is one of those days, isn't it? There we go. Let's reset it. Make sure it comes back, but there we go. So I'm gonna load both of these stamps because I think I can do two different colors at once, which you don't necessarily like. There's not a inherent reason to do that. I also have flipped this mat over. I'm just spoiling all the secrets for the next stream, but I'm thinking something like over coffee for the sentiment. And I want probably a green, but I could do a brown. I want a green, but I kind of don't want it to be. So I have grass skirt, which is a fabulous, just sort of straight up green, but I would prefer something a little more like matcha, I think. I kind of want to. I don't want the tree to pull focus away from the bear, is what I'm saying. Um, and I think I'll switch out over coffee for icing on the cake. Icing on the cake is just a slightly darker brown. And no, I don't own all the Catherine Pooler ranks. I only own some of the Catherine Pooler ranks. Yeah, so I mean, I think the thing that's unexpected to me about the stamp wheel, and as you can see, I'm using it upside down, but that's fine. It doesn't matter because it's square. But I think the unexpected thing is, like, I have small stamp positioners, right? But I tend to just use the stamp wheel because I don't necessarily know, like, what I'm doing sometimes. I mean, I have an idea of what I think I'm doing, but that's not necessarily how it always works out. So with this, kind of like with using a Misty, in the same way, I kind of feel like, I don't know, I'm protected, if you will, from if I change my mind. So I'm just gonna tap down. Is tapping on the stamp wheel ASMR or is it just annoying? Let me know in the comments. So it looks, and I still have not cleaned this stamp. So the best is a little it's doing this thing where it beads up, which I kind of like, to be honest. I want to stamp this again because it needs a little more. Now, if you don't want to be super delicate about like inking up your stamps, um, one of the other ways to do this is to just use my favorite post-it tape or any kind of repositionable tape. And I could just tape off the edge of the trees and then come back in and ink the trees. Because this ink is so much lighter than the brown ink, it really doesn't matter if well, it matters to me if I get it on my ink pad, but I don't really care from a stamping perspective. Anyway, we just load basically you just lock the two bottom corners in, and then you're good to go. Um, the thing I like better about this than the Misty for sure is really that this bottom becomes like a floating hinge, so you don't have this problem of if you use a thick stamp, it's a thick stamp. And that looks pretty good. You're the best there is, no overstamping. I'm still not sure if this stamp is supposed to be like dappled like this. I need to give it a really good clean and see if it still does that or not. My guess is no, because it's just the cleaning fluid. Let me grab a chamois quit. One of the videos I'm hoping to do this week is I got one of those close to my heart like kits where you cut your own paper, kind of like the Club Scrap ones, and I want to try that out because currently at the time of recording, like all the tutorial PDFs are available for free because they're going out of business on their website. But I also have them backed up to a Google Drive. So if you need access to see them and they're gone, hit me up. So this is the one thing I don't love about Catherine Pooler ranks. I haven't cleaned this off well, but as you can see, like this is pink now. Yeah, you can. I don't know. It's not reading on camera, but in real life, this whole thing is pink, and they're red. They're browns, or basically anything with a red in it will stain. So that is the one thing about the Yanks that I am often not super a fan of because I'm like I don't really need all my sentiment stamps to be pink. But is it the end of the world? No. But I am liking how these trees and the sentiment look with what we're going for. Because the rest of this card is going to be fairly straightforward. I'm still very sad that Spellbinders dropped their card kits from their line. I really hope they bring them back because the thing I love about card kits generally is like you get a ton of sentiments. And often when you're buying like normal stamp sets, you don't because so much of the stamp, so much of the whatever you want to call it, the real estate, if you will. That is the one thing. I did flip this over so that I can actually stencil on it now, which is great. The only thing that's not great is there we go. Get that little bit of brown ink off because that would have gotten on something that was like a not brown color. We have our little bear who makes bear noises and is trying to hide from me. But now this card goes together very quickly because it is just tape. We can decide this, I believe, is the deboss side because the trees sort of pop out on. No, that's a lie. This is the deboss side. Anyway, I would like the trees to pop out. This is a fairly subtle embossing folder, so or I'm just spoiled because of all the 3D embossing folders I've been using lately. So I think I can just get away with tape on this. I'm not really gonna bother. Oh, I love this paper. Sorry. This cardstock in real life is very. It's a really nice cream. It's not yellow. It's more like if you made tea, like cream out of tea dyeing or something. But I think this is pretty cool because this is a really simple card. Well, maybe not really simple. I mean, you're embossing a panel and cutting another one, but it's a fairly simple card that, would be easy to basically case the card and use the design, which I am a fan of. I'm also curious if you guys, let me see what I'm missing. Ah, to be fair, I like all card kits that have stamps because they all kind of come with extra ones. But I'll say so for those who didn't see it yet, this month's kit is very inspired by sort of beachy wood colors. Hang on, I'll grab a card example because I got way too many somewhere. Oh, they're here, I think. Yeah. So the thing I like is this paper. I really, really like. I like I like this light teal navy and in there's like another like 12 by 12 pack that looks a lot like this and it has pink in it too, which is really cool. Let me do I have I must have something pink on my desk. I don't have anything pink on my desk. Let's try this. Okay. Imagine, if you will, this is a color in this palette, but the cool thing is if you sample the teal and the pink, it's very beachy, floral. Ladies of a certain age went to Florida on Key West and had too many cocktails. And if you sample the teal and the navy, it's a much more masculine palette. Or if you sample the navy and the brown. So anyway, I really like that paper because I really like craft supplies that can do different things. Anyway, not that any of us need paper. We all have too much paper. Oh, and I will give you an update. I haven't made a video on this, but the Nuvo glue that comes with the glue press, uh wound up having the same issue I sometimes have with Lineco, which is because I have a job and I don't craft every day. Just grabbing a little extra glue off of this. What can happen is these water soluble glues tend to dry out and get too thick, and then they don't really flow very well. Um, so the very low tech solution that I've employed for a while is I have a fancy little bottle that's just full of distilled. This is just distilled water. So you can just add a couple drops of distilled water to your little mini glue bottle or this kind of glue bottle. And I just dropped the glue press on the floor. Okay, problem averted. But you could just add a couple drops of water and it thins it out and then it flows at its normal rate. But anyway, and this you could then go. I mean, you could obviously make this card more fancy, but I'm not going to. Um, if you're one of those strange people who uses baker's twine for everything, this would be a good card to do that. I'm sorry, that's really me. But like I own so much twine and use none of it ever. But like if you like the look of twine, this would be a card that with the color palette would look good. It's interesting because the bears are much warmer brown than the background. The background really almost like this gray almost tends to green. And I don't know what colors we're dealing with other than the ones I just stamped, but I like how this came out. And I like using the not the Father's Day sentiment generally because like I could give this to a lot of people now. And I have a lot of friends that I would send a there's the best there is card to. So that's pretty cool. And I kind of want to case this later for mass making. I feel like this would be a very good Christmas card if you, I mean, as is, but like if you had Christmas paper or an embossing folder or that fabulous vintage ornaments embossing folder. I like the design a lot. Oh, hello, Beck. How are you? Yeah, I said at the top that I assumed that a whole bunch of people are just watching the KCC thing. So I decided that a lot of people may be catching me on the replay. I guess the one thing I will say is we got a really spectacular car. We got two spectacular cards. So if you go back to the beginning, these two spectacular cards, there's some fantastic coloring on this one from my friend Danny. And then there is some fabulous die cuts on this other card. So anyway, always happy when I get happy mail. The other one is from CC, who is in all of the groups as well. So anyway, this is cool. But I was saying like, what was it? Oh, I was having a moment of if you remember my Grinch card from last Christmas. It uses this vintage ornaments embossing folder from Spellbinders, which is just fantastic. Uh, oh, I'll show you a sneak since you're here, Elizabeth. I'll show you a sneak peek of I just posted like an hour before I went live a tutorial on how to make the infinity folds, and the cat's here. That's fitting. It's fitting that we have a cat at this moment. But I decided to do a Halloween card. So the tutorial's on a Halloween card. Because I really like Halloween. Even though we're not gonna have Halloween for a while. I don't know. Excuse me, sir. Let me see if we can't convince my boy to like not yeah. No, 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 no. Goodness. Everybody's a critic. He just knocked a color wheel on the ground. So I guess we can't talk about color theory today. Anyway, since we're doing quite nicely on time, I think we will play with the second card. Yeah, I'm in no way affiliated with Graphic 45, but they do some freaking fantastic paper. And I went through so many years of thinking I would, well, not so many years, but spoiler on the paper, there's this really cool strip that has like bats, and then underneath there are black cats. So anyway, I might have to send you that paper next time I like cut it down and send you a 6x6. But this was a really cool idea. Um, form it can take. This is a die, but the neat thing is we can offset this and make a shadow layer because that looks cool. So this is all a tackle box die, which is not super exciting. We don't get a. We're gonna do the front. I'll probably cut a panel to go inside and maybe save a fish to decorate. Anyway, they're not fish; they're really lures, but you know, there are a lot of them in here. But the thing I wanted to say is that so the person who made this ephemera, I'm not sure what this ephemera is. Oh, these are sparkly little uh spinners. I don't know, the doodads you put on the whatevers. There's a bobber and then another spinner, and then I think this is also a spinner, and then some flies. It's interesting to see flies in, not to be overly technical, but like I had several fishermen in in my family, and like they wouldn't have mixed their flies in their like more larger lures. Anyway, I may be reading too much into this, but they probably would not have mixed those things. So we have one, two, three, four, five. There are five things. Um, I may save one of the. I may save the fish for the inside or the bobber. I don't know. Or I guess the fly. Anyway, but what was I saying? Oh, other than there's a cat on my desk. He's exactly out of frame. But the interesting thing is, so these were all stamped. Oh, the hooks are actually. This hook is actually not connected. Oh, this is just a hook. Oh, that's clever. We just have a little hook if we want to do something with it. We'll see. I'm thinking that silver stuff could all go together. Anyway, sorry, I'm way off top. I'm sort of off topic. But if you look at these carefully in real life, so these were a single set was stamped in Copic colored, and then it was scanned, and then the whole thing was uh laser printed and then scan and cut. So like so she colored it once and then basically there's more hooks. There's lots of hooks. I guess we'll see what I guess we could use these hooks and things and we'll see if we can't collage. Anyway, perhaps we will move this to the side. Anyway, I thought it was like a genius idea because often when we're making cards, right? Like we would really like to do that. We would really like to color 5 million times, but can't. But I thought the idea of, you know, just having a way that you could essentially do that. And I don't really need to hit everything here. I'm going to try and hit all the sort of junction pieces, but I don't actually need this to be like, I don't need to put glue on every little thing. As long as I get the edges, and I'm probably off camera right now, but that's okay. So I'm just getting the edges and the little pieces, but I guess I'm actually getting most things. Oop. And I'm just going to align this and not glue this piece down. 'Cause basically what I want this piece to be is sort of the shadow layer. There we go. I think that's pretty centered. There are some little stringies from die cutting, but I thought this was just a genius maneuver. And it's neat because there are actual there's embossing on this, which is really hard to see. But my thought is we could just sort of offset this a little bit and decide where we want our shadow to be, but then you kind of get this neat shadow layer effect. You see if I am missing all these smart things you all are saying? Oh, maybe they are weights. That's a good point. But I'm definitely stealing this technique. Uh I would say at the holidays, but We know that now is May. We're approaching the end of May, and then we're going to be in June. And then we get into Christmas in July with oops, I have a another piece. So I don't think it'll be as long as I think it'll be, if you know what I mean. Like I think we will actually be needing to figure out some see how cool does that look? I like that as an idea. I always forget you can do that, but you can just sort of so these are not a official shadow layer, but we just sort of created one just by shifting a little. And it creates a really neat 3D effect because you do have two layers of cardstock already. I think I'm gonna put tape on the back of this and get it mounted because I don't think I want to put tape on it like after all the lures are glued down. The one thing I will say about my crop is there were a lot of dark colored card bases, and not all of them came with like a white layer that you can write on, and I really like the ones that did. I really enjoy it when that happens. Blah, 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 blah. Maybe we should make sure this is even before we glue it down. Well, this is almost a full A2 size, but pretty cool. So we have this glued down. Very nice. This is an interesting. He's basically going to create a card that has no sentiment, which is fine. So I think we put our little lures here and there and put our little weights. I think it makes sense that if I had a tackle box, I don't know that I need three. I would like three here versus two, or versus like three of the little ones and a big one. So I think that looks pretty neat. Oh, I'm saving the other one. We'll put a fly here. Then we have this guy who he might be a weight as well. So in theory, if you wanted all these together, do this, and I think I'll use some of my uh we could just sort of throw these around. I think I'll just skip these guys because they're really cool, but I think I do not need them here. You could also like use the little hooks and make this guy into a thing, but I think I'm going to save him and use him as a decoration for the inside, which we will do once we get these glued down. I'm going to grab my cat scrappiness sticky tool, although all these things are also gettable from other places, of course. It is really just a jewelry. It's interesting. It's all these crafting tools are really like nail art tools, so that I think is kind of neat. Let's see. Oh yeah, that would be cool. So you could do that, right? So before I glued this second layer on, you could, if you had this die, like you could die cut it out of acetate, and then you could have the you could have the tackle kind of loose. Oh, that is a really good idea. I like that. It's a Stampin' Die combo. I think it was a Stampin' Up one. I'll have to look. I'll throw a link in the description of the video. I think so, but I could be wrong. I'll say I've seen the tackle box idea done by a bunch of different people, so there are options out there. I'm sure you could find the interesting thing about these, of course, is that these are all definitely have like a hand drawn vibe. These must be a red rubber stamp because there's a lot of etching on them in real life that's probably not reading on camera. Hang on, I'll show you the fly. It's easier to see on the fly. On the fly. So I don't know if this reads, but like there's a bunch of etching. So I'm pretty sure it's red rubber. So it's somebody who makes red rubber. But I got these as a kit at my crop, and I want to totally steal this idea of stamping stuff, coloring it, and then whoa, that would be not great visually. Basically stamping stuff and then coloring it and then reproducing it so that you could do a bunch of things that look very hand colored but are not. So I'm just gonna throw a line of glue down and then a little swoopty for the other ones. Other than my issue with the glue press sort of jamming on me, I will say I am still a big fan of it. If you don't have hand issues, I would say it's still really like I don't know how to put it, but like if you're mass making, like like if you're doing a big batch of things. Thanks, I thought it was because I feel like I've seen the idea done by other people too. There are definitely other ways to do it. Because I remember I saw this. It was funny, right? Because I just saw the stamp set at one point and was like, when is anyone ever going to use that? Of course, hi here, I'm doing it right now. But like, let's just let's cut an inside piece because there isn't one. This is cream, so probably I should cut it out of cream. Let's see if I know I have cream because I just made the other one, but will I find it? No. Let me grab a piece of cream. A piece of cream. Here we go. Here is some cream. Now, if we're feeling especially fancy, we could corner around this too to kind of mimic the lines of the. I love it. Yeah, he's right off camera. Like, what is he doing? Well, he's holding our tools for us. Oh, I guess I'll mention it since you're all here, and so is my cat. Lennox's birthday is next month, so we may make one of these stream slightly cat themed since it's his birthday. I'm going to corner around this because I think we can be fancy. Cause see how cute does that look? It just mirrors the die. I kind of want this die now. Although I don't really have that many fishing people in the family, to be honest, but it's really cool. I like how the finished part looks. So I think I'm going to put the fish down here. Let's see. Well, I don't know. Let's grab the stamp wheel. Let's see. Let's see what sentiments I have. Because I had a really good sentiment stamp set. There we go. I've been really liking this one. It's something from Catherine Pooler. I like the Dream Big. I like There's also a Make It Happen one, which I think would be appropriate here. But this is Never Give Up is a good one too. Man, let's do Never Give Up. I just used Make It Happen. And Never Give Up is pink as well, so we know that I've actually used the sentiment. Never Give Up. That was a song, wasn't it? I'm not remembering who did it. It was like when I was I don't know if it was recently. I always get confused because there's like pop that I remember from like when I was in high school, and then there's pop that I remember because it gets on my gym playlists, and I can never remember which is which. Anyway, I think the guest of the moment has left. Anyway, let's see. So like a tealy blue, I think would be nice here. If I can find the Uptown ink. Is that it? Uptown? Uptown ink. One of my favorites. Sorry, I didn't mean to give you like whiplash, but this pad is like super juicy. Excuse me, sir. Could you get your butt off of the stamp wheel? Ah, Scooch, please. Technical cat difficulties. There we are. We're back. But this I don't know if it's just Uptown. I mean, Catherine Pooler pads are juicy in general, but I'm going to be kind of careful. It's funny because I started doing some. What are you sniffing at? My cat is sniffing at the Happy Mail for some reason. Ooh, that came out quite nicely. Um, but yeah, look, this is very juicy, which is fine. I mean, I just feel like I'm going to need some Uptown soon. Because it's one of those colors that I've just been using for everything. It's a very under the sea color, which, since we're in the season of the mermaid, is one I've been using a lot. But let's put this back before I lose it somewhere. But I do love a good sentiment set. I feel like the sentiment sets are the ones I use all the time. And everything else tends to be more, not, I don't know. It gets used from time to time, but the images I feel like I use less than sentiments for whatever reason. But I think we are almost ready to put this thing together. Because I think the teal will match our little fishy person or fishy pretty nicely. I think that'll be cool. Give you a place to write a message. So I think we just need to put this back together. It is. I like it. I mean, I don't know. I still think my favorite Simon ink is I think it's called Tropical Tango. It's something like Tropical Tango, where it's a very sort of blue-green color, because um, as established, I am very much a blue-green person, as opposed to a yellow or red or like all of those things. There we go, and we just need to glue our fish down, and I think we're good. I do appreciate, I don't, I'll have to look up who made this kit, but I do like, this is a really nice heavy card base, which I like. Just put a little fish down here. And I think this one is done as well. Figure out, oh, I think did I put my other card over here? I did. I have the other card just to show you the two cards that we made tonight. We stayed fairly consistent on time. I will say, Shanna Makes It has been going live at 8:30 Eastern or a different time wherever you are. It's I think 8:30. Look at her channel. It's either 8:30 or 9:30. But I want to say 8:30 because I think she goes live 90 minutes after I start. So if you're done with the Kendra's Card Challenge hop, I would definitely check her out because she always does cool stuff. Anyway, I don't know that I have anything super special to chat about today for the upcoming week. I did. It's funny. There was a card I glued the front on backwards, so I did do a tips video that's coming out on Tuesday on ways that you might fix that if you are not blessed like Elizabeth and don't have like a quirky, crafty friend who wants a upside down card. I like the tackle box. I had like I think I told it. I think I halfway got through this story, but I'd seen the stamp set and I was like, "What on earth would you do with a bobber?" Like, because my grandfather was a very prolific fisherman, but he's passed away for several years. But we really don't have people in the family who fish actively. But I think like a tackle box is kind of a vibe that, I don't know. I don't know if this is like a guy thing, but like, like you remember fishing with somebody. I guess it's not really a guy thing because one of my aunts is a very good angler as well. So, I mean, but I think a lot of people have fishing memories. So I think it's kind of like that. I do think both of these are good Father's Day cards too. But anywho, I'm glad you like them, Delise. I like them. I don't know. I've been liking my cards more lately. Is that a weird thing to say? Like, I feel like the first 2 years of crafting, I was very much like, I don't know if I like my cards or not, but I feel like, I don't know. I feel like as time goes on, I kind of know what I like and then make more cards like that. So I don't know. It is what it is, I guess. But I want to thank everybody for coming. I would encourage you to go and watch Lala's stream on the replay because I'm definitely going to be doing that because she always makes neat stuff. I think Yvette is coming up at the in about 10 minutes or about 5 minutes and I think she's the final stop. And then Jen also streams every Sunday. So lots of cool stuff. Thanks for checking it out. I will talk to you guys on Thursday. We have a special guest, Elizabeth, at 6:30 my time or 7:30 Eastern, and we're going to talk about the stamp wheel, which we kind of talked about the stamp wheel today, but we're going to talk more in depth about pros and cons and what techniques we've used and what techniques we haven't. And maybe I'll break out a new stamp set and we'll see if we can't do something cool. Anyway, Lennox just jumped on the desk again. He says he hopes you have a good rest of your week and a good upcoming week, I guess. I guess it's rest of your week because the week starts on Sunday. But uh, I will talk to you guys later. I'm sure I will see you on Thursday, if not before then. And have a great one.